Hi everybody, I'm Jonathan from For Gamers here with Wicked, who has just won his game with Alliance. How do you feel after that win?
I feel really great. Like, honestly, I just got 44 points in my fantasy league, so I'm probably going to win this week. This is awesome.
Okay. Is that something that you're thinking in the back of your head, like I have to win this to get my fantasy points and I have to get this for the team?
Well, during the game, I'm not going to think about it because that might distract me, but before and after, of course.
Okay. About the game, we had a pretty interesting start where you guys were pushing the top lane and they were pushing the bottom lane and kind of got to your inhibitor turret. What was going on there? What was going through your guys' mind?
So we didn't really mind them taking towers, but our main objective was to deny them XP so we could high levels them, which also showed out. Like, Yorick was level 4, then Shuk was level 6, and I believe Yorick still had to base at that point because he was out of mana. So we got really far ahead in XP, and that was our goal. However, we didn't want them to get the second tower. We just wanted to leave the first tower and try and defend it, but somehow we were too slow and it didn't work out. So we were like, okay, whatever, just leave the second tower as well, get the XP advantage, and then slowly get into the game because we believe our team was better late game, which also showed out. So we just wanted to equal farm, get to late game, try and get higher levels on them, and then win.
Okay, about that Yorick pick, that was pretty interesting coming out of Copenhagen Wolves. Also, they're playing with two fresh members. Do you think that their performance was a bit weaker than before, or do you think maybe they just need some time to adapt? And what did you think about that Yorick pick?
So I think as a team, they're probably better now, but as individuals, they're worse because, Forgiven, he was extremely good individually, and that's what he was great at. And Amazing is the same. But from what I've heard and stuff like that, they were possibly not the best team players. So it also in this game, it seemed like they were more, they played more like a team.
Okay, so about the Copenhagen Wolves, they, as you said, like individually, they might not be as good as Forgiven and Amazing, but do you think in the end, in their team, they will become stronger as the tournament goes on?
I think as a team, they will be stronger, but I'm not sure they're going to perform better because it depends. Like, they might play better as a team, playing better together, but if they're weaker individually, it might just become the same, just a different play style. So I don't really know.
Okay. Where do you see you guys? Like, you guys didn't really change anything in your roster. You're the same 5 people that started before. Where do you see you guys ending up in this summer split?
Well, I believe if you talk about your own team, you should always say first, else you're stupid. And if you don't say first, that just means you don't have the drive to win. But I think we have a good chance of getting first this season because last season we were a new team. We just got together. We were all extremely good mechanically, which also showed in a lot of our games. But we had the problem that our team play wasn't up to par. And that slowly got better and better over the season. And now we've been together for a while. We know each other. We know how people play. We understand each other. And we also brought on an analyst, which we are having right now temporarily. And maybe he'll become full-time. So I think we're going to become a lot better because of that.
Okay, do you think that's really something EU teams are lacking, that they don't have like coaches and analysts? Is that a weak point for Europe?
I think that it's really hard for players to talk to each other and tell other people what they should improve on. Because, for example, if I told Froggen, you need to improve on this, Froggen would be like, why do you talk about my lane? You need to improve this and this and this. Like, you're going to get into a fight. But if you get into an unbiased person, an analyst, for example, he can say, you need to focus on this. You fucked up there. You made a mistake. You need to correct it. And you don't have a reason to talk back to him because he's an outside perspective. You can't be like, well, you didn't farm there, you died there, because he's not even in the game.
Okay. So some people from Europe went over to North America. Think about TSM, for example. How do you think that they will fare in North America?
I think the European players are extremely skilled mechanically, and they'll do well in America if they fit in with the teams. It depends if their personalities fit. But if they do, they'll do well.
Okay, I think overall North America had a lot of changes in their teams. What would be your top 4 in the EU LCS at the end of this split?
So Cloud9, TSM, and TLG have been performing exceptional every season pretty much. They've always been strong teams since they started playing together. And I think those 3 teams are my top 3. I don't really know about 4th. I think probably Dignitas because they got Science Spartan and another guy. Yeah, they got 2 good players, I know that. And I think those 2, that team is going to be good.
Okay, and what do you think about having an all-in Chinese team with all Chinese players coming into the North American scene? Do you think that's going to be a problem for those North American teams, or do you think they'll be doing okay?
So I don't necessarily think the Chinese team is going to be better than the American teams, because you have to see it from a different perspective. The Korean teams are extremely good because they practice against each other all the time. Everyone is really hardcore, and everyone's going at it with analysts and stuff like that. But then you go to America, you're not going to have the same opponents to practice against. So the practice is going to be weaker if you're playing against weaker opponents. So it all depends. And also, I don't think America as a region is behind China. So I think it doesn't really matter.
So what would you think about a Korean team coming into Europe?
I think if a Korean team came to Europe, it depends how good they were. But let's say the best Korean team came to Europe. They'd do really great in the beginning, but their play would get worse because the European teams right now are not the best, I think.
Okay, so thanks a lot for the interview. Any last words that you want to say to your fans, sponsors maybe?
I'd like to say to our fans, thanks for supporting us a lot. It's been great, and I'm sorry that we didn't qualify for All-Stars. And I hope that we can qualify for Worlds to make you guys proud.
Okay, thanks a lot.